Well, the long anticipated return of Jimmy Kimmel live was this week. And what did we get? Did we get a heartfelt apology? Did we get an acknowledgement that not only was what he was saying the wrong time and place, but it was just an incorrect statement? Did we get any sort of recognition that he made a mistake? No. In fact, in some ways, he even doubled down. To sit there and say that Donald Trump basically forced the FCC to force Disney to cancel his show is ludicrous. Once again, here's what happened. For everyone in the back who didn't hear the beginning, Jimmy Kimmel goes on air on, what was it, last Tuesday or whatever, and sits there and stands there and says, the Republicans are trying so hard to make it seem like this guy wasn't one of them. It's a little bit of a paraphrase, but that's basically what he said. And then the next day he gets inundated, and ABC and Disney get inundated with calls and all this stuff saying, this is a lie. What are you doing? Come on. And Nexstar, who is an affiliate of Disney, they own the rights to show the show or whatever it is, says we are preempting the show. We're not showing it. There was a baseless attack. It was rude. It was mean. It was evil, etc., etc. And then another one joins them. Let's call them Simplicity because I don't remember what they're called. So those two affiliates own so I've read different numbers. I've read 25%. I've also read 75%. I don't know which one is true, but they own a large stake of the affiliates that ABC uses. And so ABC, Disney decided to pull the show. They said, we're canceling the show for now. Obviously, it was never really going to be a big cancellation. He wasn't getting fired. It was just being put on hold for all of, 5 days. During all of this, the huge conspiracy theory, mostly based on what I believe to be very poor timing on the Trump administration's part, of having the FCC chair go on a podcast and say, we should really start policing what these people are saying. Now, the problem is that's exactly what the FTC is supposed to do. They are sitting there. Their whole job is to make sure that the stuff communicated by license owners or license holders of Spectrum, and by Spectrum, I don't mean the internet company. I mean the air stuff. That's what Spectrum is. I took a class in college. They tried to explain it. I still have no idea what it is. But if you hold a license to broadcast on the Spectrum, which ABC, NBC, every network does, that's why it's different from cable. On cable television, you can go in there and say, Donald Trump did this, Barack Obama did this. It'd be completely lying. And with the exception of defamation, you're not going to face any sort of consequences from the FCC. Here, it's different. They have the power to tell you, when you sign up, when you get that license, you agree to certain things. One of them is that what you're doing is for the public good. Because there's a limited amount of it, your broadcast has to be for the public good. And part of that is being honest and going on the television and saying that Charlie Kirk's murderer was a member of MAGA is not being honest. There was not a single legitimate government or private report coming from anyone of any significance, with the exception of maybe The Onion, saying that he was a Republican. So to go out there on television and say what he said was wrong, and he should have been punished for it. There have been too many instances of these late night hosts, or really any hosts, news hosts, comedian, any of these people going out and saying things just because they think the First Amendment covers them. It doesn't. Now, the problem here is really an issue of timing. It's bad timing. But it is about damn time that the FCC finally starts policing the airwaves again. Okay, there's a difference between YouTube and Google knowingly deplatforming people for asking questions and the FCC saying, hang on a second, you can't go on network television and lie about something like this. We're not going to let you do that. So anyone making a comparison between the two things is wrong. Now, I'm sure the people complaining about Jimmy Kimmel are the same people that are now complaining about Google having admitted to in open hearings that they deplatform and censor people at the request of the federal government. So now we hear from Democrat lawmakers in California that they want to break up Nexstar. And again, I don't remember the name of the other one, so we're going to call them Simplicity. They want to break them up because they say they hold a monopoly. Now, if the 75% number is correct, there might be a point to that. But I'm telling you right now, under no equation created and in the Sherman Antitrust Act is 25% of monopoly. There's no way. The biggest problem with all of this is you've got a late night comedian who's gone out on television and lied and is now being punished for it. He's being punished by, or was punished by the organization, the company that he works for. And suddenly you have a bunch of lawyers and First Amendment scholars on Twitter who suddenly have a deep understanding of First Amendment law, who think this is a violation of the First Amendment. Even if the FCC did pressure Disney, it's still not a violation of the First Amendment. They're not the ones doing it. It was a company that did this. It wasn't the federal government. Now, there's an argument to be made for public company versus private company. There's an argument on the idea of intertwining, which means when the public or private company enters into a relationship with the federal government and works as part of the federal government, that there are certain laws that they have to obey. Now, again, that's not what happened here. This is a private company punishing an employee. Is there some shadiness to it? Probably. Do I doubt that the FCC chairman made a call? No. But again, Bob Iger was free to tell him to fuck off, and he didn't. Iger knew he messed up. The guys at ABC knew he messed up. And honestly, Kimmel even knew he messed up. And let's not forget that Kimmel was offered the opportunity to walk it back. He said, no. We have heard about the meetings that they had the next day that said, hey, you need to go out there tomorrow and walk this back. What you said was wrong. You need to apologize and walk it back. And he said, no, I'm going to double down. Fuck Trump. So what was ABC to do? All of this is another example of Democrats trying to throw mud and keep their fingers clean, even though they are covered in blood and mud. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at KingsAdvisors_, and I'll see y'all next time.